Redditors, what started off as a small lie but then snowballed into this is my life now. I was a new graduate student freshly arrived in the US and very poor, and I couldn't afford a laptop. So the only way I could communicate with my family was to hit up the library and use a public computer to email with them. Eventually my girlfriend back home wanted to Skype, and I wanted a little privacy for this if you know what I mean, so I set about finding the most private computer available to me in the library. On a recon mission the day before the Skype, I located a single computer in a conference room and the next morning got up at 7 a.m. to account for the time difference and walked into the conference room with my eyes totally focused on the computer. I'd actually walked most of the way in before I realized there was a group of people around the conference table having a ridiculously early morning meeting. The guy at the head of the table, apparently thinking I'd showed up for the meeting and that I was heading towards him, handed me a paper that said agenda and said he was so glad a graduate student had shown up, then launched into the most incomprehensible talk about electrodes and chemistry. Meanwhile I know my girlfriend is sitting halfway around the world thinking we're going to fun time Skype and I'm blowing her off and I'm feeling desperate. But everything I knew about US culture was only based on movies, so I have no idea if I can just apologize and leave or what. I miserably sat down for the incomprehensible meeting, rehearsing all the excuses I can give my girlfriend when we talk later. I was barely paying attention. Eventually questions were directed at me and I confessed that I'm a new grad student and I don't know much about the equipment they're talking about. Everyone excitedly tells me all about it and I still don't totally understand what they mean. Except I'm starting to get that they're going on a research expedition to Antarctica and they're building a piece of equipment to bring with them. By the end of the meeting I'm part of the project. 6 months later I am in Antarctica helping to operate this equipment. I appear briefly in the background of a Discovery Channel documentary, only black guy within hundreds of miles so easy to spot. I happily transfer to this other lab in this other field for my fully paid for PhD. I am considered a real go-getter. Mainly based on my arrival at an early morning meeting no one else wanted to attend. New major, new field, new life because I was too awkward to admit I had just been in the room to fun time Skype with my girlfriend.